see them big white cracks there where you mortared that cement in? I told Ernie, I said, I know what happened there. I know exactly what happened, why that barn separated there. He said, why, how do you know that? I said, when I and my brothers growed up, we had them milk cows over there in that shed, and your beautiful arrangement you got there, well, there was a tunnel went right down the middle where the cows would deposit their fesses or whatever you call it. And we built a big cesspool on the outside. We dug a deep cesspool by hand. And we were going to deposit that stuff in that cesspool. And all of a sudden, that wall over there, by filling that full of that urine and everything else, and all of a sudden that wall starts to separate. And my dad said, God almighty, get that cesspool filled up and packed in, and if you're going to lose that barn is going to fall over. And it was all that moisture, that ground gave way and the wall started moving away. So we had and so at least we saved it, but you can tell where it was, no doubt about it. And them 4 rocks up here on the outside, you can see where their mortar joints are. When we had that tornado, I drove a team of horses right up in front of the barn, and I could see some of them cottonwood trees, big. I mean, they were big, ripped right out of the ground, coming right at me. And I left the horses and run for the cellar, the storm cellar, and I just made it down there and it ripped the cellar door right off it. My mother was down there already, and it just sucked the air out of us down in that cellar. It just simply sucked the air out of us. Come out here, and the barn here was just the front and back walls were setting, and that was it.
The roof was gone.
Huh?
The roof was gone.
Oh, yeah, the roof was gone it was about 2 miles east of here. We found pieces of that roof. And others stayed right here. Some of it folded right over, and you can see that on that picture that we have. That part of the roof stayed here, but the biggest part blew away. And so my dad first decided he'd give it up. Had no insurance, just abandoned the barn. But my mother said, no. That barn is very important. We're going to. Then he hired a guy by the name of Isidore Shoemaker, and he was a carpenter, and he came in and put the roof back on here. We had just shingled that barn with these wooden shingles about a year before, or maybe even less than a year before, the cyclone came. Oh, and to shingle that with them little shingles, that was a job deluxe. And here comes that tornado, and my dad, he had us pry them shingles back off of there and reuse them to reshingle that barn again. And then, no, we didn't reshingle it. We We couldn't save the shingles, and he wasn't going to buy it. They were too expensive. And then we put just that filled on there, that roll of tar paper, and that didn't work. So we put a tin roof on there, and that tin roof stayed till these guys did it different. I mean, made it much prettier. But we did put that tin roof on there after that tornado. And so my mother wasn't about to part with this barn. If she'd been alive and I'd have sold that barn, she'd have killed me. That was, my dad didn't like to do none of this milking and stuff, and Mother was always out with us and made us milk them cows and stuff like that, which was good. I mean, it's good for us kids. Because we had so many of them, and to feed them was nearly impossible. Half of the time, all these codgers from around the area, they'd come over here, and Dad said, just help yourself to them guys. Hell, I can't feed them. I haven't got enough. So go ahead and take them and work them. We'd work all day for what food we could eat. In the dirty 30s, there was no doubt about it. I mean, they were only too glad to have us to where we could have it. They always fed us, no doubt about it. But, it wasn't the best of stuff.
But
now.
Tell us about when you used to have rodeos over here.
Oh, my God. We'd break horses. People would bring horses from everywhere. We'd bring them in here. And on Sundays, we'd put everybody's name in the hat. The whole town was over here. Everybody's name got put in the hat, and whoever got picked had to ride a bronco, and they'd turn him loose in here, and out he'd go. And oh, Lordy God in heaven and almighty. It was awesome how that turned out sometimes. Just bareback. I mean, you had to get on, and out he'd go, and 1, 2, 3, you'd be rolling down that hill, and then they'd pick another one out of that.
I thought the boys might break an arm.
they never paid much attention to that. I mean, we got stuff broke on all over our bodies. That's all right. It'll heal us. It's no different. It healed by the Indians, so, and they did nothing. So why wouldn't it? Them guys, there was no such a thing as be taken to the doctor. I mean, if you didn't survive, they always felt, hell, we can make another one real easy. So that was no project at all.
Tell me about the bands that used to play here, Bud.
The bands?
Yeah.
Oh my God in heaven! Oh my! That's a story. There's no end to it. And just stuff that here with these bands, they'd come in here, and we had that swimming pool up here, and we operated that. And that was great. I mean, that swimming pool was something that should have never been destroyed. I mean, you know, these hippies, when they bought it, they the ones that destroyed that. The Mennonites. They didn't drain the water in the winter, and then it froze all the plumbing behind it and just ruined it. That was ugly. Anyway, these bands would come in here, and they're the scum of the earth. These huge bands all over the world today are the scum of the earth. They are the absolute lowest class people known to mankind. And I'm telling you, they'd come in here and all mangy, and like, they were like these carnival people. They put them in a truck and haul them around, and they'd say, "We heard you had a big swimming pool, and we want to get right up and in there." I said, "You mangy bastards, get down there in the river. It ain't gonna contaminate my water." I wouldn't let them do that. I mean, you know, I'm telling you the truth. These band people are this ruination of the earth. Because they got all of this bad stuff what they have in there, and these kids hitch on.